Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. I'm Rebecca Lawrence and this is Voices. In this set of interviews, I will be focusing on issues of inclusion, diversity and allyship through intimate conversations with wine industry professionals from all over the globe. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps us cover equipment, production and publication costs, and remember to subscribe and rate our show wherever you tune in.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Vivino, the world's largest online wine marketplace. The Vivino app makes it easy to choose wine. Enjoy expert team support, door-to-door delivery, and honest wine reviews to help you choose the perfect wine for every occasion. Vivino. Download the app on Apple or Android and discover an easier way to choose wine.
Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. This is Rebecca Lawrence with the Voices series. This week, I'm joined by Yoshihiro Nagase. Welcome to the podcast, Yoshihiro.
Hi everyone, and Rebecca, thank you for inviting me today.
So I like to start these conversations on Voices by asking my guest to introduce themselves to our listeners. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're currently working on?
Yes, sure. My name is Yoshihiro Nagase, running a company Quattrovini in Tokyo, Japan. I'm a restaurant sommelier and a wine school instructor, and I work to introduce Italian wine to the Japanese markets in various ways, such as consulting for importance and restaurants and planning dinner parties. Anyway, please think of me as a person who loves Italian wines.
So, you really do love Italian wine.
Yeah.
Because although you're based in Japan, I know that you've lived and worked in Italy. So what did you take back to Japan from that experience?
Yes, I really learned a lot. First is how to interact with people. Japanese people can express their opinion well and not good at expressing emotions. But I was surprised at how Italians convey their passions of insistence and the speed with which they can switch unpleasant emotions even if they don't understand. For example, in restaurant job, a person said, "Why do you think about that?" Another replies immediately, something gets angry, and he went to go back home. But next morning, he said good morning as if nothing had happened. I was very surprised. And also, it's a local tradition lab. You understand the culture, protect it, and take it over. That is why there are many wines that go with well with many local dishes. I work in Japan now, and I want to convey this culture to customers currently. Yeah.
So you're president of Quattrovini and you import wine. Obviously, it's been a very difficult year with COVID. What has the impact been in the Japanese market and how is the situation now?
Yeah, I think this is common throughout the world, but wine sales have fallen by about 20-13%. Shops that have served wine to customers, such as restaurants, have shortened their business hours and restricted the sale of alcohol. And many websites have been created to sell wine, increasing the sale on the website, creating a change in the portfolio because I think international grape variety wines are now on sale. This way because not all customers know about Italian grape varieties. Other than that, wines with distinctive etiquette and low price wines and otherwise a rare high priced wine such as a limited edition Japanese customer is like this type wines. Alcohol sales are still restricted in some prefectures. Why does the government take measures only by eating and drinking, and alcohols are the source of infection? Many people distrust, but this situation will continue until autumn. The Olympic game will start tonight, but but there is a request in Tokyo to ban the sale of alcohol at restaurant. Impossible. I hope everyone, including me myself, will watch the Olympic game while drinking Italian wine at home.
That would be a really great way to support the industry, is like you say, to take that culture of being in a restaurant and maybe support the retail outlets by, like you say, drinking at home. So, speaking of drinking at home and wine consumption, what are the current trends in Italian wine in Japan? Is it still very much based in the well-known names, or are you beginning to see through the work that people like yourself are doing this kind of dispersing of lesser known grape varieties and wines?
In Japan, French wine culture has long been rooted in Japanese customers. That's not all the cause, but it seems that some customers are relatively uncomfortable with the strong acidity of Italian wines. Exactly, I like. But this trend has only recently changed, and we are now enjoying the individuality of the grapes. For example, Prosecco and Franciacorta good at marketing and have won the hearts of bubbles lovers. White wines such as Timorasso and Verdicchio and I think Vermentino are popular for the minerality test, and red wine is popular for the super acidity and tannin. And elegant taste wines such as Nebbiolo and Sangiovese and Nero Mascareso. This trend is now in Japan.
It's really exciting to see the rise of things like Timorasso and Verdicchio because also I think in other markets in the world they have not been so well known. So hearing that it's also becoming more popular in Japan is very exciting. And the Japanese market is often viewed as quite challenging, very particular in its taste, maybe not so easy for Italian wineries to find their own space. As someone who is not just an importer but an Italian wine lover, what advice would you give to a winery that are trying to expand into Japan?
Okay, I think we also must make a big change in the rigors because about 13 years ago, full-scale import of Italian wine began in Japan. They imported the hottest wines at that time, subdivided to fill their collection box, and now the 70th importer is currently importing Italian wines. This is a very important thing. These include companies with a biased taste, such as wanting to sell trendy wines or importing only so-called natural wines. Also, unfortunately, I would like you to know that there are many Japanese in Italy who disrupts Japanese market and is uncooperative with maturity, and its involvement only demise the winery's brand image. Importers who are not good at marketing will talk about hours and only price competition. It's not good. Now the same wines fill the market in Japan. What we want is respect for locality and the grape varieties. This is a very important thing: locality and the grape varieties. And we want to see what kind of person makes the wine and what kind of feeling it has. Not only wines that sell at the Enoteca, but also wines that have a story that make the sommelier convey the individuality of the wine as a restaurant and makes the meal enjoyable, have greater potential. I suggest these things.
I think that's really interesting because I worked on a project recently with a university in Venice who were doing a large symposium connecting Japanese food culture and Italian food culture. And I do think there, from what I saw from the symposium, there are lots of commonalities. Like you say, this focus on high quality and local, really focusing on artisans in both cultures. I think this could be a real point that Italian wineries can hold on to and help present themselves in the Japanese market.
Yeah, for example, Timorasso has a high acidity. It goes well with our dishes, Japanese food, and we need matured, yeah, and understand for wine culture in Italy. Therefore, I want to introduce these things.
So, to increase your knowledge in Italian wine, you came to Verona recently for the VIA flagship course. Why was it important for you to participate in VIA?
First of all, I would like to thank the staff for the success of the Vinitaly International Academy program in difficult situations. Thank you very much. We are very comfortable and were able to make fulfilling plan. The most important thing to participate in is updating informations. I know a lot of research is going on, and the information I need to know about wine is updated daily. What perspective should we focus on and study the future trend of Italian wines and what grapes variety and wines should be interested in and how is the world going? I think it was a really exciting day to feel these things for myself.
So you're an Italian wine expert based in Japan. You're obviously also an educator, and we are beginning to roll out the Maestro courses in Japan. We've had one of our Italian wine experts, Irving So, already running courses. Is wine education popular in Japan, or is the market more led by consumers?
Yeah, I've very well, and my friends, not everything connected with us. I also know having giving great lectures. Japanese tend to prefer to learn and qualify. Students are representative of consumers, and they are expanding by sharing what they have learned on SNS and sharing it with friends. I this thing is very important and spreading knowledge of Italian wines, not changing knowledge of grape variety. It's a very good things, and I also want to join this team.
I have no doubt that you will soon be teaching the Maestro as well.
Yeah, I hope.
So, on that note, what is next for you? Where are you going on your Italian wine journey?
It seems a very long journey, and every time is very exciting. I find Italian wines food friendly. Do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like our country, there are 4 seasons in Italy, and I think there are some similarities in the food culture. As wine pairing gets more attention in the world, the connection between food and wine will be stronger. So, from this point of view, the recent acidity and minerality of Italian wines, which was originally drink as an in-meal wine, and the variety of flavor have a strong point for pairing. I would like to explain this logically so that people who have not served wine until now, they can understand Italian wines, I hope. And it will be my journey to complete this logic and convey it to people.
I really hope that next time I manage to make it to Japan, that we will be able to share a glass of wine and you will be able to suggest some beautiful local dishes to pair with it.
Yeah, let's enjoy food pairing in Japan together.
Yoshihiro, thank you so much for joining me on the Italian Wine Podcast today. Where can our listeners find you online or on social media and discover more about what you are doing?
Sure. Yes, I have an account on the Quattrovini website and Facebook and Instagram accounts. If the listener are interested in Japan, please visit it. And I also hope to get to know the Italian wine lovers all over the world through exchanging a message. Finally, this time I would like to thank all the staff of the Italian podcast for giving me such an opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great conversation. It's been really interesting hearing a little bit more about the Japanese market.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for listening. Don't forget to follow us on social media, subscribe, and of course, donate on the website to make sure we can keep these great conversations flowing. Yoshihiro, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. See you soon.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, chin chin.
Hi, everybody. Italian Wine Podcast celebrates its 4th anniversary this year, and we all love the great content they put out every day. Chin Chin with Italian Wine People has become a big part of our day, and the team in Verona needs to feel our love. Producing the show is not easy, folks. Herding all those hosts, getting the interviews, dropping the Clubhouse recordings, not to mention editing all the material. Let's give them a tangible fan hug with a contribution to all their costs. Head to ItalianWinePodcast.com and click donate to show your love.